Frankenstein, and Daniel Radcliffe as Igor. Welcome.
Hi.
Hello, hello.
How's it going?
Feeling good. All right. So, let's get into this. Fantastic trailer. This is a different kind of Frankenstein story than we've seen before. So maybe let's start with you, Paul, and talk about what the relationship is between Victor and Igor and why the story is different.
The relationship between Victor and Igor is, we find Igor at the beginning of the movie, and he's all hunchback and what you'd expect Igor to be. But then you kind of see that he's got this passion for anatomy and science and all those good things. And then he meets up with Victor Frankenstein, who also sees that in him. And together, they work together to build what is a prototype, and then it becomes monster and all that stuff. And it's all about science. It's about this passion that they have for it, and also it's a love story between these two men, really. And I mean that in a very sort of positive, beautiful thing. And yeah, it's a love story between these two guys who need each other. In fact, Victor needs Igor probably more than Igor needs Victor in his life. And it's really about creating, it's actually about giving the name Frankenstein back to the scientists, back to Victor Frankenstein.
Yeah.
And because everyone always thinks it's the monster and all that stuff, so it's that was great. You know, that was a really good challenge to have.
Every time that somebody says to me, "What are you doing at the moment?" I say, "I'm doing this film Frankenstein." They say, "Who are you playing?" I say, "I'm playing Frankenstein." They're like, "You're kind of short to be playing the monster." And I'm like, no, it's the Doctor. So yeah, you're right. We're giving the name back to Dr. Vic.
Yeah, people always get that wrong. People are like, no, Frankenstein's monster. It's Frankenstein. By the way, I just want to point out, you have probably the greatest hat I've ever seen in my life, which is, it says, it's Frankie Goes to Hollywood, but it's Frankenstein's monster, and Frankenstein's monster is saying, relax.
And they those were hats.
They weren't saying the foyer.
These had, well,
We had them made up. Thank you, darling. Thank you. We had them made up for the crew at the end.
That was our end of picture gift for all the crew. We've got a really cool hat that you might actually wear outside. Because normally the stuff you get on dogs you'd never wear out. You know, whereas this is actually quite a cool hat.
Yeah, well, so let's talk about the relationship of Igor and Victor, because from what I understand, I haven't seen the movie. I mean, they wouldn't show it to me. I asked, and they said no. You have to wait. But it seems like that Igor is more of an intellectual equal to Victor in this story, rather than just like a grumbly sidekick.
Yes, I mean, at the beginning of the story, as Paul mentioned, Igor is kind of being kept and living in abject sort of conditions where he's treated almost as being sort of subhuman. And then Victor finds me in these conditions and sort of lifts me out of that. And to me, that sets up a very interesting dynamic in their relationship, which is that my life has essentially been saved and made possible by this man. And then as we embark on this journey together and he starts losing his goddamn mind, I'm like trying to like pull him back from the edge of insanity. And it's that thing of how do you stand up to and tell somebody they're wrong when they have given you everything. And so the imbalance in that relationship and the tension that results from that is kind of what makes it interesting. And ultimately, you're behaving so badly that I'm the only person who sees you when you are at your most charming and charismatic. So I'm the only one who would have any desire to save you.
Yeah, I mean, I think the movie's fueled by the fact, not just about creating the monster and all that, but also these two guys are together who have such a good time together, and as an audience, I think you want them to be together. It's exciting, they're getting all these adventures and all these scripts. That's half the time. The other half the time is a movie where if you've ever wanted to see Daniel Radcliffe utterly abused and beaten up and hurt and embarrassed and just manipulated by me, then that's your movie.
That's a lot. That's a movie for you.
So half the time the audience are like, "Oh, these guys are great together." And the other half the time they're going, "Please, Daniel, run away now."
We had somebody outside.
Get out of this movie.
Somebody said to me outside, "This is a really violent movie, right?" And I was like, "No, not particularly." And they were like, "No, but to you." And I was like, "Oh yeah, I guess." But yeah. Like we had I get thrown around a lot, but it's good. I bounce.
I mean, when...
Yeah, he does.
All right. Tumblr just imploded. When they first approached you about potentially playing Igor, were you like, are you serious? Or
No, not at all. I was like, okay, cool. Tell me more. That sounds great. Yeah, I mean, and as soon as I read the script, it became apparent that this was a very different Igor, and somebody who does have a very rich intellectual life, and is, if not the academic equal of Victor, certainly has it's a very equal partnership in terms of what they're creating, and his sort of my skills kind of fill in the gaps of his lesser abilities. So yeah, I mean, but there was no I know. Sorry, what was I saying? Lesser abilities. Well, I supplement you.
You do what to me? Darling, I didn't even buy him dinner, but he was coming at me. I was like, listen, man, you want to put it there, go for it, but no hands.
Yeah, Tumblr's dead. Tumblr's dead. Tumblr's dead, and 1,000/fics were born.
There's a sign here that's got our names on it. It says, welcome to Comic-Con. Please be aware that many members of your audience may be under 18 years of age.
We didn't say anything out of line. Anyway,
not for everywhere. For some actors, that's a little more of a warning. Don't flirt, it's a little more... Be careful! I know Comic-Con sounds like a party, but ask for ID. It's worth it. I mean, James, does Victor see Igor as his equal? Does he recognize that in the story?
I think, like Liam Neeson in the film Taken, Victor recognizes that he has a very particular set of skills, and he decides that he can use them and use him. But in doing that and manipulating him and totally abusing him and taking advantage of him, he actually comes to love him and care for him and love being with him. And he's excited by the prospect of somebody who is in some ways his equal. But his ego is such, and that his passion and his obsession, which is the thing that we share with Mary Shelley's original book, is obsession. Not just about monsters and all that, but obsession with scientific advancement. That ego and that obsession with advancing science and doing something that he needs to do to fix himself is really, really, it gets in the way of him loving him and seeing him as his equal, and that's when he gets abusive. Every time that he says, no, I don't think this is a good idea, you all but get your head ripped off. You know what I mean? So it's like, he's a kind of two sides of the same coin,
And what is it that you think they're trying to accomplish in this story together?
Trying to build a big monster, man. Just trying to build monsters and be a good Christian. You know what I'm saying? Just gotta love America and build monsters and shit. Yeah.
I mean, I absolutely love it when...
what are we trying to do? Well, the thing, I think in Mary Shelley's original, for me there was something missing. There was I know that's sacrilege to say to a lot of people and all that kind of stuff. It's an amazing book, a very important book. But for me, Victor was obsessed and crazy just because he was. I didn't really see a reason, whereas this story and what Max did and what you did and what we've done together is give him a reason for being so bloody crazy, and then not cure him of that halfway through. In the book, he kind of just goes, I'll go for a vacation for 18 months in the woods, and then I come back and I'm sorry. Now we need to kill the monster. Whereas in this, we keep him mad all the way to the end. And I think that's truer to his trauma and his backstory and who he is. And more fun, because mental people are fun.
You mentioned Max, and I assume you're referring to Max Landis.
Yes.
Who wrote that? Max is such a brilliant mind for coming at a story from an angle that you can't. And he says it like you go, I'm gonna go to Starbucks. He'll just be like, oh, what about this? And you're like, damn, yo, Landis. He has such a brilliant mind, and it's such an interesting way of storytelling. Was that what attracted you to direct?
Definitely. I mean, Max is kind of extraordinary, isn't he? He's a little bit of a, he's just this extraordinary mind. What he did is he cherry picked all the good ideas from the movie, from the book itself, and he's created his own monster, within that. So he's made the script which has Igor in it, which of course Igor was never in the book, and it has these other little monsters that had never been in the film. So you know what I mean. So he is his own mad Frankenstein himself,
I think he also is just like, it's unashamedly entertaining and like all the way through as well. It's like exciting. It's never just enough for it to be like, oh, you're watching these two guys. Like the story's always there's like an energy behind it, which I think is from him. Like that's,
I mean, there was never one scene in this movie where I just goes, right, I've got an easy day to do.
No.
You know, it's just two guys talking.
Not the way we did it, anyway.
No,
every single time we hit a scene, we're like, how physical and violent can we make this? How dangerous can we make this to each other? Come on, man.
Yeah.
And we're quite similar in like energy levels
Very
and
much.
in terms of physical ability, so we just kind of go at it with each other like every day, 12 hours a day.
And then we filmed.
No knee pads.
You just...
We're like...
I feel like he's doing it on purpose, but I don't know if he's doing it on purpose.
That's how it is.
I am a walking penis joke. That's all I am, man.
Always ready to look at that. Yeah. But there's one scene we made like I mean subtly homoerotic, the one where you're like.
Yeah, the first scene we shot
together, which involves a lot of being thrown around.
Oh, do you want to act it out, or do you just want to talk about it?
Go for it.
Oh god.
This is the enduring image that I'll take away from the first day of the shoot, right?
Wait, what are you doing? Are you...
There was a lot of very
I really
nervous.
did have a moment then of like, oh, he's joking, he's not really. Oh no, we are doing this. Okay, we are showing the scene where he pressed me up against the pillar.
I was wearing full protection. It was all good.
There was one like that was a scene where I came out of the because we wanted to make this film like a dark movie and
Where is that?
And it's dark and it's funny but it's like we wanted it to be like to push things and there was definitely that first moment.
I didn't do that one.
What? We're just talking.
That first moment when James is like breaking my back essentially and like trying to there's no way of saying this, it's all becoming innuendo. I was about to say removing my hump. I mean, there's no way of getting out of this. No, so when we
But whether you're building a monster or making love, it's all the same. It doesn't matter.
and so but that was the first thing that I remember like walking off set after that and seeing like a couple of the producers looking genuinely terrified making in there.
Well, we actually we have a clip, or they have a clip that they want to show you, and they brought this again, never before seen. Don't take video of this. This is just for you guys. So, ladies and gentlemen.